What's up, guys? Zig here with Faltacunlimited. It has been a hot minute. I'm talking like 16 days since the last time I did a video, not including the sexy holster maker on a mug in the microwave thing. That was just funny. We decided to do something kind of stupid, and well, 12,000 views, so I just think that's hilarious. But anyways, let me show you what I've been up to. I took down all the stuff hanging on this wall, and I needed to get all my molds off a bench. So I had them in like 6 totes. So I filled this area up a little bit more. I added these right here. Obviously I filled this area out some, and I'm trying to organize all these right now. And I got this hung up. But I have 4 more molds that I just got in. I just ordered 2 more molds from Holstersmith.com. And I just got a shipment confirmation from Pale Horse for a SIG 220 10mm. I can finally do it. I had a customer back in June, I think it was, order a 220 10mm. Nobody makes a mold. Nobody. I contacted them. They said they'll make one eventually. I have been searching and searching and searching. I've ordered molds that ended up not working. And this customer was like, yeah, listen, if it doesn't work, don't worry about it, this and that. But I have found a mold finally, and it's brand new from Pale Horse, so that's coming in. So as soon as it gets here, I get to make it and send it off. But yeah, I'm gonna start filming more. I've been trying to catch up. I have knocked out almost a month and a half worth of work in the last week, which is fantastic. I only have a few left to do, and my goal is to get caught up pretty quick because I hate my lead times and I want you guys to get your stuff. But enough with all this stuff. Let's get our Glock 19, let's get our Olight, and let's go to town. Before I forget, Olight just came out with a PL3 Valkyrie. It looks just like the Streamlight TLR1, but it's 1300 lumens. It's on sale on Amazon right now for $59.99, and I just bought one. So as soon as that comes in, I'm going to list it on the website along with some other stuff because I have to sit down and update it, where I will be offering holsters for the PL3, and I'm going to see if it's compatible with the TLR1 holsters. So stay tuned for that because I will do a video on that. But for now, we got the Glock 19, we got the Balder Mini. Let's make a holster. Sucks is I destroyed one of my drills. I charged the battery, threw it in it, pulled the trigger, and smoke started pouring out of it. I threw it outside before it caught fire. But as you can see, I have my heat press on. I have my foam inside. It's been in there for about 10 minutes now since I got in the garage and lit the fire, because it is 52 degrees in here. It's nice. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Anyways, and if you notice, I have a second one. So before I had this set up right here, but there's not enough room, so I went ahead and mounted it here, cleared everything off along with my bin of Christmas trees. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna get that on there. I use 2 presses now for the 2-piece pancake designs. Makes my world so much easier, so I don't have to time it from here and the oven when I could both come out at the same time on the press. So all right, but let's block the 19 and let's build a holster. This is going to be a pancake design, so 2 pieces of Kydex sandwiched together with speed clips. Those are nice, those are fun, and I'm going to show you what I do just in case the customer doesn't like the speed clips, and Balder Mini, so let's get to it. Yay! All right, let's get it going. What I like about this is I don't have to guess where it is. Everybody mounts it and does this. When I make a holster, I'm going to take it and I'm going to bump it up a couple. Let's make it flush. That way it goes in and out of the holster better, and you will see. So let's do it right here. The Balder has your choice of just beam, just laser, or both. I put it in the center because it just makes things difficult. And let's get this going. So it doesn't say this is modified at all, so we're going to go ahead and let's block everything we need to block and do what we got to do. That's perfect. All right. All right, now I use these guys right here. I have found that when doing Balders or any of the PL series, what I use, obviously, is I use this blocking right here. That's the small blocking. I need the bigger blocking. There we go. Bam, like so. I will actually throw that right there, and it leaves a small channel, because for some odd reason, this will hit the beginning of the holster. So I started doing that, and it seems to have gotten rid of that problem. So while it's on my mind, I'm just going to go ahead and square that up and stick it to it. The mold I'm using is actually a Holstermold. I think my very first Glock 19 was a DIY, and I went with this one, and I think I got this one before I learned about multi-molds, and it's this thing has worked very well throughout the years, but don't get me wrong, I still love my multi-molds. I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 layers. On the 5th one, I'll flip it around, flatten that, so the last layer is the first one on the next side. So 2, 3, and I extend this one a little bit to wrap around the muzzle. All right, now let's throw this on. So sanded it flat here so it doesn't roll, and I cut a channel to put the front sight post in, and then just tape it in. All right, so I push down right on the edges. That way it wraps around the top of the frame. And then if you notice, for the very last piece of tape, I just pretty much made a tent out of it, and I put it down really hard so it does this. Now what it does is it allows the Kydex to come here, and then it gradually folds down. So it's like a funnel going in, and I think it adds a little bit more character to the holster, and I like doing that. So that's how I've been doing this. So I'm going to start on this side. If you notice, I have 2 different blockings, like so, same size, but one of them is like this. That way it lines up with the channel like so. And these are my design. I am actually going to have these available soon. They're not going to be aluminum, I don't think. I think they're going to be cut out of steel, which is perfectly fine. But they're still going to be the same thickness and all that stuff. So let's, hopefully it all goes well. I'll have a blocking kit, so you guys will be able to have everything that I have here for one price. Well, let's get this going. Oh, wrong one. We're gonna throw this here. I always build these for Gen 5, so we're gonna block it right here. Just remember to make it parallel with the top of the slide and extend past the body of the light. You will thank me, because the way my press is, and the thickness and the strength of everything, it's yeah, you don't want it lined directly up with it because it won't fit. I'll throw this on just to get it on there. Again, this is my light. I purchase all the lights. I very rarely borrow somebody's. I only borrow it if I don't have it. So I have 2 lights here that I don't own, a TLR2 and a old school PL1 second version. I have one similar to this, but it's not this one, so the gentleman sent me this, and we're going to build a rig for it. So, yay. Moving on to this side. When we get this on here, again, make it parallel, make it stick out. I match it up with the other one. Leave a small gap. That gap is what gives you that click. Leave a small gap, square it up, and lock it in place. And I line these up, and I throw a piece of tape on just to verify that it doesn't move, or at least help that. Throw this here, and now we're gonna wrap the other way. And also, again, I said it in another video, I will reiterate it again. My press is a modified motorcycle jack. It uses a lot of force. It'll do up to 1,000 kilograms, I think it says. So there's a lot of force. So if you don't anchor whatever it is you're working on down, it will move. So let's see here. All right. So we know actually, let's grab a blue gun. We'll grab our blue gun. This is a training prop, so we're gonna line that up. We know that right there is where it goes, so we could put that there. We could take this one. Let's do this one right here because it's smaller. So let's line that up and do this. I'm gonna actually show you what I do for outside the waistbands now. I created a whole new blocking, and I think it's absolutely killer. So let's get the other side. I have multiple of the same blocking. That way, if I need to do something on both sides, I can. Let's line that up. It's going to go right there. This blocking that I'm using, this is steel, and I got those from Holstermolds.com. I think they're around $8. These I got from DIY Holster. They are not made anymore, just so you know, but that's going to change soon. So here this is. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out an outside the waistband retention plate because I now do them differently, and I'm going to show you what exactly it looks like. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I do for outside the waistband retention plates now. I wanted to mimic what Pale Horse looks like when you make an outside the waistband. So we got our full mold right here, and this is my blocking. So generally what I would do back in my olden days is I would take a piece of wood, just say this blocking is it, and I would mount it like that, and then put the retention screw, one single screw there, and then I would build off of that. I don't do that anymore. I've been doing this for the past, I want to say about 6 months. I've been working on it, trying to dial it in. And obviously the thicker you have your mold, the harder it's going to be, or the wider it needs to be. So this is going to be what this is going to look like. So we'll slide this in right here. And you'll see at the end, I think it's going to look real good. So I'm going to attach this. Everything's all up to temperature. And I'm going to cut the Kydex, and I'm going to show you a little trick so you don't get that bend. I don't know if you guys, I don't have one here, but if you ever press something where the top piece of Kydex or the bottom like completely folded underneath and then it clamped on it and it completely ruined your Kydex, yeah, I'm going to show you how to prevent that because I have figured it out. So again, I'm going to mount this and let's get everything in the press and go from there. There it is right there. Here's my little trick. Colored Kydex holsters that I do are black on the back, and they will be colored of your choice on the front. I like the two-tone look. This is how I've always done it. So this is going to be our back piece of the pancake, right? This is, let me tell you what it is right there. Roughly 9 inches by 9 inches. All right, and this one is 8 by 12. I have found that the top piece of Kydex, if you make it wider than the bottom piece of Kydex, what happens is when you put your foam down, it clamps on the sides. It clamps the furthest point out, obviously, and what it does is it holds it in place as it stretches this down. If you have two pieces that are the same size or the top is smaller than the bottom, what happens is as it's pushing down, it's going to push in the Kydex because there's nothing holding on the edges, if that makes any sense. Nothing holding on the edges, so it's going to squeeze it, and that's what causes it to roll underneath, and then it crimps on itself, and then it's junk, and you get pissed. And the other night, I did one holster. It took me 3 presses to do it. Not because it was doing that, but my blocking was moving, and I was getting aggravated, so I walked away. But top piece, keep it longer than the bottom piece, and you will have no more fold over. So I'm going to get them in the presses. Both my presses are 390 degrees at 155 seconds. 2 pieces of foam in each press. So I'm going to sandwich this, and you'll see what it looks like right now. Christmas Day is here, and so are we. I just pulled it from the press, and I got to say, it works. See? Look at that definition. At no place on it is it folded underneath the sight channel, underneath the grip, underneath the muzzle, anything like that. Is it a lot of extra material? Yeah, but at this point, that's all, everything is just included in the price of these holsters that you're gonna have cut off and waste. Now, when I cut this, can I save this? Yes, I can. Is there a lot I can do with it? No, there's not. So is it worth saving? Completely up to you. My magnetic holsters are 100% made of scrap. I have a bin where I take all my scrap and put it in there. And these are still on sale, by the way. So, but let's get this going. And as you can see, I probably could have went a little bit longer, but the retention is going right here anyway, and there's plenty of room right there, so I'm not too worried. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the desert tan off. That way I have room to do all the eyelets and all that stuff. But let's get it going, and then I have to laser. I got 300 belt clips to laser for other companies. So if you are just tuning into this channel and don't know what I do, I offer a laser engraving service for all of your holster clips and belt clips and all that stuff. Pretty much any of them I laser engrave, and it's a one-time setup fee of 20 bucks, and that's for programming, vectoring, and getting everything all set up in the jigs. And it's 50 cents per clip. You can send me 1 or 2. I have people send me 5. I have people send me 1,000. I don't care, and I usually do them within 1 or 2 days to get them out to you. Anyways, let's get this going. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our Glock 19 blue gun, lay it on top, and doing this, we're going to figure out where the trigger guard is so we know where to start cutting. So we're going to be right there, and what that is also going to do is going to allow us to take our contour gauge, like so, and I'm going to put it at the base. Square it up. And draw my line. If you don't know what a contour gauge does, this is only a couple bucks at Home Depot. It allows you to draw a straight line over contoured pieces. So this is going to come up. We're going to go right to there. And we're going to be like so, and then coming down like that. And we're going to take these guys right here. Now, these particular belt loops are fantastic. They're a quick on-off. The only thing I don't like is they flex, and if you have a heavy gun, not the best thing. So what I do is if somebody orders with these, I will automatically use this. So this is the spacing for belt loops. So I will automatically put belt loops on just in case the end user wants to switch his holster to belt loops. So I will go ahead and cut those, or drill those 3, and we'll be all set. So let me, that right there, that right there. And now with this, because of the way this is set up, we're gonna go pretty much straight across. No need to do anything fancy here. And then from here, we'll do our angles. I'll follow this straight across, and we'll do our angle right to there. And our retention point is going to be right there. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'll drill these out, and then I'm going to pop that side open, and I'll show you why I do all that. All right, got it drilled. If you notice, I got the mold out, and I only open up the side with the retention. Oop, hello. All right, this side is still fused together. I did that because now when I drill this, it's not going to rotate on me, and we're going to be perfectly fine. So I'm going to go ahead and drill that hole. And with, oh, the mat broke. With that hole drilled, I can go ahead and easily install all the retention. Ow. And there it is right there. Now let's go ahead, add the eyelets.
And after we install the eyelets, the next step is going to be just to be cutting the outline of the holster. Careful, follow your lines, don't get too close. Cut on the outside, and then you can always sand them in. And next we're using the scroll saw. All we're doing here is cutting the corners that our bandsaw can't do. From there, we're going to flatten all the corners of the holster and move on to the next step with the Dremel. And with the Dremel cutoff wheel, all I'm doing here is cutting one side shorter than the other, so it's aesthetically pleasing. And once we're off the bench sander, we're going to grab our Dremel that has the 220 grit sanding drum on it, and we're going to go ahead and finish up all the areas that our other sander couldn't reach, along with smoothing out the edges and rounding the corners here. Next, we have some buffing action. All this is an 800 grit sandpaper disc found at holstersmith.com, and what I'm doing is I'm just taking the right angle edge off the circumference of the holster.
At this point, I'm going to do a quick little test fit. So we got, obviously, it all sanded down, and I like it. So, but it's real quick and easy now. From this point, we just got to bend the ears. Let me show you how we do that. We got to mount these guys. One thing you need to remember when you're bending the ears of a holster on a vise is if you do not heat up both sides the same, as in the same temperature, when you fold it, it's going to pull one side and it's not going to fold at that point. It's actually going to pull the whole thing over and it's going to mess up your retention. So be careful with that. Make sure you go back and forth on each side and get a nice even heat on the wing.
If you notice, I have the heat gun going left to right. I'm not keeping it in the same spot, and the tip I'm using on it is the very narrow one, so I'm focusing the heat right at the tip of that. And I'm going to flip to the other side, again going back and forth to try and evenly heat it. The smoke that you see is actually oil residue on that potato sack that I'm using to protect it from the jaws in the vise. But as you can see, it started to flop. I'm going to take my air hose and quickly cool down that side of the holster. Take it out of the press, or the vise rather, throw it in this side, and go ahead and gently heat this side again, side to side. Once I get to a nice point, I'm going to go ahead, go to the other side, which you might see the holster start to shift because it's starting to loosen up. Right there, you can see the holster move, and I'm going back and forth still. I'm going to flip over to the front shortly, and then I'm going to go ahead, cool it with the air hose, and install the hardware.
That's the easy part. We'll go ahead and wipe this down real quick. All right. Now, if you notice on these, it says left and right. I like to go ahead and put these in on the side with the number, and these are 1/4 inch posts, and these are 1/4 inch rubber spacers. Oop. Wrong way. There we go. All right, and these are 1/2 inch screws. We're gonna get some blue Loctite all up in here. There we go. All right, and okay, so I'm gonna grab, this is the right side. You guys are probably like, well, you're putting them on the left. Well, when you're looking at the holster, that's the right. All right, now switch over to the left. Tighten that down. All right, here is a right-handed outside the waistband with Speedy's clips for the Glock 19 with the PL Mini 2. Hell yeah. Can't find it. Da-de-da-de-da. missed it. I don't run a Glock 19. I got an FNX. This, it feels good. I like it. Okay. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do. Huge shout out to Holstersmith and knifekits.com. Without them, I wouldn't be as far as I am right now. And same thing with you guys. So build something safe, have fun doing it, you know, and I really hope everyone had a safe and happy Thanksgiving. It is Christmas season, so I am trying to get everything going to, I want to be caught up pretty damn soon. So it's round the clock for me, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm going into laser now because it's almost 10 o'clock, and it's going to take a few hours in lasering. So again, if you need some laser work done on your foamies, shoot me an email, order them on my website, whatever you want, and we'll get everything going, and I write to you. So thanks again. Talk to you later. See you later. Love you. Bye. Well, I got good news and bad news. So, the good news. Holster came out beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. It is so nice that I'm not going to send it to the customer. And here's why. The order was actually for a Glock 19 Poly 80. Not a Glock 19. If you don't know, the Glock 19 and the Glock 19 Poly 80 don't work. They're not compatible with each other. The rail is actually lower on the Poly 80. So, I now have a Glock 19 with PL Mini 2 available, and I'm going to throw it on my website. So if somebody wants it, go ahead and scoop it up. I'm only going to put the one on there. I'll delete it once it goes. And all that for nothing. Well, luckily I ordered a lot of Desert Tan, and I will be making this again tomorrow. Thanks again, guys. Have a good night.